Hey, we're back on the CD Drama channel. This time, the story we're bringing isn't just a run-of-the-mill rumor or behind-the-scenes whisper. It's a story that's left many fans speechless, breathless, and wondering what's really going on. It's shocking, emotional, and almost unimaginable. Behind the dazzling stage lights and the perfect smiles always presented by the cameras, the entertainment world holds many layers of secrets. Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo, two big names who are always in the spotlight, have been known for years as impeccable professionals. However, just like a grand stage, a thick curtain covers the real story. It all started with a moment that was barely planned. In a small meeting, without media attention and without an official script, the managers closest to them finally spoke. Not in a dramatic tone, nor in an open confession, but in quiet sentences that felt far more shocking. The words flowed slowly, as if they were weighing each syllable. There were long pauses between sentences, there were held breaths, and there were facial expressions that were difficult to hide. They didn't elaborate, but the meaning was clear enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. For years, Xiao Zhan had been known as a warm and humble figure. Wang Yibo, on the other hand, exuded a cool and disciplined aura. Two seemingly opposite personalities, yet somehow always seemed to complement each other. The managers hinted that their togetherness wasn't simply the result of industrial strategy. There are tough times that never make the news. Contract pressure, public expectations, and the fear of a small mistake that could ruin everything. In situations like that, the presence of someone who truly understands becomes invaluable. And that's where, according to the managers, the bond began to form. The confession wasn't delivered as a sensationalism. There was no attempt to seek attention. On the contrary, their tone sounded like a burden finally lifted, as if they had been holding back stories that were too heavy to share in public. Fans who heard this news had mixed reactions. Some were shocked, some were touched, and still others felt that these small pieces finally explained many things that had felt strange. The gazes on stage, the silence between words, and the chemistry that could never be faked. The manager emphasized that not everything could be told now. There were boundaries that had to be maintained, and privacy that still had to be respected. However, they felt the public deserved to know that what had been seen so far was only a small part of the true story. In the entertainment world, image is everything. Every smile is staged, every move is calculated. But this confession seemed to rip away that mask, revealing a fragile and emotional side of humanity. Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo were not just artists. They were individuals who had grown, been hurt, and survived the storm of popularity. The managers implied that there were moments when the two had each other's backs, even if the world never knew it. The silence that followed the confession was long. There was no applause, no overreaction. Only a sense of wonder hung in the air as everyone digested the meaning behind those simple words. Many began to recall their journeys from the beginning. The massive projects, the packed schedules, and the relentless spotlight. All of this was impossible to go through alone. And perhaps all along, the answer had been right before their eyes. The managers aren't asking for sympathy. They just want to make one thing clear. Whatever happened between Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo, it was built on deep trust and mutual respect. Something rare in an industry this tough. This story isn't about sensationalism, but about the reality behind the scenes. About how two people can survive when the world demands unforgiving perfection. About a relationship that grows quietly, away from the spotlight. Now, fans can only interpret the meaning of the confession for themselves. There was no confirmation, no denial. Just a fragment of truth enough to shake long-held beliefs. Since the confession went public, the atmosphere among fans has changed drastically. Discussion forums, usually bustling with light-hearted speculation, have taken on a more cautious tone. Many have chosen to reread the manager's every sentence, trying to discern the hidden meaning behind seemingly simple, yet emotionally charged words. Some longtime fans have expressed mixed feelings. There's sadness at realizing the hardships their idols have endured, but also warmth in knowing they're never truly alone. This story seems to confirm that behind the fame, there are ordinary people who also need support. The entertainment industry itself has chosen to remain silent. There's no official statement, no additional clarification. This silence only reinforces the impression that the manager's confessions aren't empty words. Sometimes, the most honest things are conveyed without the fanfare of publicity. For some, this story serves as a reminder that human relationships don't always need to be defined. There's a bond that's simply understood by those who experience them. And perhaps Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo had long chosen that path. Quiet, reserved, yet meaningful. Every step they took on stage now felt different. The smiles they displayed were no longer just part of their performance, but symbols of a long, hard-fought journey. The gazes captured by the camera seemed to hold a story only the two of them could understand. The managers, within their limited words, seemed to be conveying a message to the public that admiring an artist also meant respecting the boundaries and privacy they worked so hard to maintain. Not every truth needs to be revealed, and not every story needs a clear ending. Time will pass, new projects will come and go, but this moment of recognition will remain a significant milestone. A small glimpse into the world behind the scenes, enough to make many pause and reflect. The drama channel CD ended the story with a sense of suspense. There was no definitive conclusion, only a series of emotions and questions left to linger in the minds of the audience. And perhaps that is the power of this story. It doesn't force, it simply invites. Amidst the hustle and bustle of modern entertainment, the story of Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo now stands as a silent reminder that behind even the brightest lights, there are long shadows that hold sincerity, sacrifice, and a relationship that never needed public recognition to be real. The drama channel CD brings this story not to stir controversy, but to invite everyone to see another side of the entertainment world. A side rarely seen, yet very real. Behind the bright stage, there is a story of sincerity, resilience, and a bond that cannot always be labeled. And perhaps that is precisely where its beauty lies. This unexpected confession has been released into the world, and its impact is irrevocable. What will happen next? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. The story of Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo will never be viewed the same way again.